Welcome, everyone, to the Hardin Local Weekly podcast. I am, of course, Rachel Branningham. This weekend, downtown Elizabethtown fills up with classic cars. I look forward to this event every year. Cruise in the Heartland is back. It kicks off Thursday night at the State Theater. The car show is Friday at Freeman Lake, and Saturday, the cruisin' takes over downtown all day. They're expecting north of 2,000 cars. That's crazy. And my boys especially love this event because they love to go see and hear, and there's just a lot of cool vehicles down there. And it is officially back to school season in Hardin County. We went to open house last night. We went backpack shopping. Trojan Fest wrapped up at Central Hardin, John Hardin, and North Hardin. And Saturday, there's a free back to school bash on Skyline Drive with haircuts, backpacks, and supplies. John's got all of it for you today. I can't wait for you to jump into that, John. Here's your homework while you watch. Okay, I'm going to give you this icebreaker question. We're leading into the car show. So, what was your first car? And be honest about what happened to it. Okay, so I'm super interested to hear your all's icebreaker question, but drop your answers in the comments. We're going to read them at the end of the show. And this week, the special report Phil has been teasing for a month is finally here. He sat down on camera with the police chiefs of Elizabethtown and Radcliffe to ask the hard questions about those license plate cameras going up all over the county. He's going to tell you exactly what he found. Plus, Nate is back with Business Buzz. I've got your housing market update, and the experienced keeners are back with us. So let me introduce the crew to you all. I've got Phil Tall, who is the co-host, producer, developer of all of this. He is working nonstop behind the scenes. We just appreciate Phil so much. You're missing Scott Lucas today. He is out. He's got something that he had to attend, so he will join us again next week. John O'Brien with our events and happenings. I got to see a picture of John without his beard. I'm just saying. That's why. We've got Nate Bryan with our business news and updates, and we've got Britten here with us. Michelle might jump in, but our experienced leaders. If you're watching live, tell us where you're watching from in the comments. We love to know where our audience is watching from. Like the page, share the stream, and of course, hit subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss us. Hit subscribe everywhere: Facebook, LinkedIn, all of those good places, YouTube. You don't want to miss all of the fun that we bring to these podcasts. And of course, I like to always mention everything that we talk about today is available at hardinlocal.com, even the things that we don't have time. There's a lot of information that is shared that we can't fully share in an hour on this podcast. So you want to go and sign up at hardinlocal.com. Okay, should we do our icebreaker question really quick? Because I'm kind of curious. Run through real fast. Tell me about your first car and if you know what actually happened to it.
No, my first car was a 1989 Nissan Sentra. My aunt given me. He was like, "Buying you a car, but I'll give you this one and pay for the parts." Me and one of my friends, we fixed that thing up. Nate Brady, thanks Nate, back in the and then I drove it to Atlanta and it blew up.
That's awesome. I think my boys will both have very inexpensive first vehicles because it taught me a lot of about character. My first vehicle was bought off of an auction line for $1,600. My dad made me pay him back. It was missing the side mirrors. The back seat was bolted to the roof. It had holes in it. I hand stitched that back seat back together. We put it back in. It was full of mud. I was crying. I had to scrub it out. It was it sometimes the power steering worked, sometimes not. That's where my muscles come from because I had to crank that baby. Occasionally it had heat. So there were definitely days I was driving to college with my windows down so I could see out the windshield. And it overheated a lot. So I got to see a lot of the county because I was always stopped on the side of the road waiting for it to cool down. So, character building. Character building. What about you guys? Britton, what's your first vehicle?
So my mom picked out my vehicle for me, and so she had actually bought herself something pretty new that she didn't like. So I got her hand me down, which was a great leverage to keep me working at our restaurant, so that I had to keep making the payment. So it was way more than any kid should have had, but that was her way of making sure she kept me out of trouble. So if you have a really nice car, but you have to work all the time, or you're playing sports, then you go with it. But my first car was a 1994 Ford Explorer, and it was pretty nice. I actually had a factory CD player, so but I didn't get to use it for anything because I drove it from home to the restaurant to school and then back home. That was about it.
You were limited. I love it. John, what were you driving?
All right. So I was driving in style, but it was style in 1984. It was a 1984 Caprice Classic.
Oh,
Sweet ride, but it was older than anybody else had, and but everybody else like newer cars had those crank windows. I had that automatic up and down.
oh, you
Uh,
fancy.
oh yeah, it was nice, and we could sit tons of people in there when we go places.
That's awesome.
The worst thing though is where it's at. I was on a trip to Nashville, see Dave Matthews Band down there in Nashville. I forget what year it was. I think it was probably oh early mid 2000s, and I parked my car at my sister's apartment complex for the weekend while I was down there. She drove me around. She lived down there, and I went downstairs on Sunday to go home, and my car's not there. So I thought she might have moved it. I was like, "Hey," I went upstairs. You moved my car? No, no, no. It was stolen and then stripped and burned like 5 miles down the road. So yeah, that
That is
that
such
car's
a
gone.
that's such a bummer. Well, Nate, what were you driving?
A Ford Escort in high school at Central Hardin. I totaled it in one of the last wrecks at that Ring Road 62 intersection before they put in a light, because back then there was no light. And I hit somebody that was supposed to be in a turning lane, and they decided to change lanes and floor it. And I walked away from that without a scratch. But yeah, it's a good little car. It was my mom's old car.
I almost totaled that Ford Taurus right there because my brakes went out and I flew straight through that intersection. God's angels, because nobody touched me. I just soared straight through. It was wild. My dad was like, "You'll figure it out. It'll be okay."
There's something to be said about driving a vehicle and the brakes going out or the master cylinder just going away.
You
And
just free floating at that
and
point.
you're like, yeah, you go and you push the brake pedal down and it goes all the way to the floor with no resistance. If you haven't ever had that happen, you're lucky. But you find out how quick of a thinker you are when that happens.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I just remember I just went blank. I'm like, what do I do now? 17 years old, and here I just go down this hill and just cruise. It was God. All right, guys. Well, tell us. We want to know what your first vehicle is and where is it now. So whoever has my Taurus, we sold it. I haven't seen it in years. If you have a Ford Taurus with hand stitching in the back seat, that's mine. John, you're gonna jump into our events with us.